To become an intermediate guitar player, you need to practice for 2,500 hours, 5,000 to be advanced, 10,000 to be an expert, and double that to master the craft. That's the 10,000-hour rule. A popular rule, but a stupid one that plants a shitty belief in your head that you have to work long and hard to actually improve. But the problem with this rule is that it completely overlooks the fundamental aspect of guitar playing. Working long and hard is great, but it's useless if you're not working the right way. So today I'm gonna show you the 5 mistakes I've seen over and over while coaching hundreds of students. Mistakes that literally destroy their soloing progress. I'll also show you how to fix them and how long it will take. But before that, maybe you're wondering, what happens if you keep making one of these 5 mistakes? It's simple, the earth explodes. More seriously, when I point out certain mistakes to my students, many say, yeah, but Marty Friedman doesn't do it that way, or I can do that, my fingers are too short, or I'm not flexible enough. So to that, I've got 2 answers. Number 1, the artists you admire are exceptions. You'll always find exceptions, and maybe you are one, but chances are you're not. And using the right technique will save you a ton of time. Number 2, if today your fingers feel as comfortable on the fretboard as chopsticks in a bowl of soup, that's normal. Flexibility, fluidity, and dexterity can be trained. Unlike point number 1, having smaller, bigger, or longer fingers is not an exception. You'll find tons of people with all kinds of hand shapes playing guitar incredibly well. As usual, to access the tabs and backing tracks for this video, check the link in the description. It's free. So to warp up this point, what happens if you make one of these 5 mistakes? Simple. You'll waste time, you'll waste energy, and potentially you'll lose your motivation. So to avoid that, let's get straight into mistake number 1. Ever since I was a kid, I loved drawing. Like most kids, at first I held my pencil kind of like this. Needless to say, my drawings were not very precise. Over the years, thanks to practice, writing every day in school, I eventually started holding my pencil better and my lines got cleaner. But recently I decided to level up. I bought a drawing tablet and enrolled in an online course to learn how to use it. And even though I thought I was pretty decent at drawing, I got a bit slapped in the face. I realized I didn't even have the basics down. My lines were shaky, I couldn't draw a straight line, a circle, or a cube in perspective. So I had to completely relearn my technique, filling page after page with this, and this. And I realized the issue was simple. I still wasn't holding my pencil properly. And you know what? By using the correct method, I went from this to this in just a few days. For real. Still work to do, but my drawings finally started looking like something. So here's mistake number 1. You can work hard and learn many techniques, but if you don't hold your tool properly, you'll never be able to make real progress. You get it. On guitar, this tool is your pick. And good for us, the same principles applies as it does with a pencil. Rule number 1, the further away you hold the pick from the tip, the less precise you'll be. But if you hold it too close, you'll end up grating your fingers on the string. Aim for a good balance. Rule number 2, don't grip your pick too tightly or your playing will be stiff. But don't let it float loosely either. Again, think of holding a pencil. And rule number 3 may be the most important, don't underestimate how much pick grip affects your overall technique. That's where the motion starts. Mess that up and everything else gets harder. So how do you hold your pick? Start with your thumb pointing up. Then place the pick roughly here on your finger. My fingers are short, so it might look a little bit different for you, but that's fine. Then just bring your thumb down on it to hold it in place. Done. And once that's in place, it's time to strum. And that brings us to mistake number 2. At this point, you have two options. Option 1, tense up your whole arm and torture your guitar. Or option 2, relax and let your wrist move freely. So obviously you should choose option 2, but you've probably heard that 1,000 times. So I won't do a deep dive on why it's better. Mistake 2 is tension in the right hand. But what you really want to know is how not to be tense when you play. So here are 3 keys. 1. Even if your goal is alternate picking, start practicing with strumming. It will help loosen your wrist. Use your arm, but keep your wrist relaxed and let it flow the motion. Two, think light. Seriously, say the word to yourself if you need to. Don't strum too hard, and like we saw in mistake 1, don't grip your pick too hard either. And 3, breathe. You're playing guitar, not free diving. Honestly, most of my students don't even realize they're holding their breath while playing or breathe really badly. If you want to grab the tabs for the little strumming exercise I showed you, click the link in the description. You'll get access to YouTube bonus and my newsletter where I share my best systems to boost your playing. And now, mistake number 3. A few months ago, I was spending 8 hours a day playing guitar working on my new album. In 3 months, I had to go to the doctor 3 times for a stiff neck. And not just any stiff neck.
Boss level stiff neck.
The couldn't sleep at night kind of stiff. And I knew why. My overall body position while playing was terrible. My workspace is about 12 square meters, but when I get focused, I end up sitting like I'm in a broom closet. So mistake number 3 is a bad overall body position. And I know a lot of you still make this mistake. If you're a beginner or not used to 8-hour sessions, this can really ruin your playing. I see students practicing on couches that are too low, legs crossed, sheet music on their lap, constantly struggling to keep everything from falling over or themselves from collapsing. If you're hunched over, you'll inevitably get tense, and all your previous efforts will be wasted. Take the time to set up a comfy little space. If you're sitting comfortably, relaxed and holding your pick correctly, you're already playing better. But you might still feel like you lack flexibility, dexterity and precision. In that case, let's go deeper with mistake 4. As a teacher, I've seen 2 types of guitarists. Type 1 play blues, great bends, but struggle with clean 3-note per string runs. Type 2 fast and clean, but can't play a bend in tune. Okay, there is a 3rd type, the unicorn who does everything perfectly, but we're not talking about them, because we are talking about mistakes here. So this mistake is probably familiar. Using the wrong left hand position. You've heard of the blues position and the classical position, but behind that is a key skill that's often ignored. Here's a quick recap for anyone new. The classical shape is for clean lines, hammers, legatos, big stretches. You use your fingertips, not the side, so you avoid unwanted notes. Your thumb is behind the neck and your hand is shaped like it's holding a tennis ball. The blues shape is for bends and expressive vibrato. Your thumb warps around the side of the neck, giving you more pushing power and more organic tone. That's the theory, but in practice you're constantly switching between the two. If you have to think about it every time, it's hell. So once you've understood and can do both shapes separately, it's time to master the crucial skill: moving your thumb behind the neck smoothly. So I've noticed something. When I play, my thumb is always shifting. I don't really have two fixed modes, blues and classical, but rather a flexible instinct I developed over time. I never really think about it now, it's automatic. And that's what you want to. And I've got a great exercise for that. Play a lick that forces you to switch from the blues to classical shape. So here, watch my thumb carefully. Very important. Don't be tempted to stay in the blues shape the whole time. Force yourself to switch. Again, if you want the tab for this exercise, click the link in the description. But before you start practicing it, let me tell you about the last mistake, maybe the most fatal one. We've talked about right hand shape, breathing, holding the pick properly, not too tight or too loose, choosing the right classical or blues shape, not hunching like a frog in a matchbox, moving your thumb smoothly, and more. And you're expected to do all that instantly. I get it if it feels impossible. But like I said earlier, the goal is to make all this automatic. Let's take driving as an example. When you learned how to drive, they didn't throw you on the highway at 80 miles per hour on your first day. Thank God. You broke it down, learned step by step, slow enough for your brain to absorb it. The thing with the guitar is, if you go too fast, you won't crash. You'll just sound bad, because all the little details we talked about will fall apart. So mistake 5 is playing too fast. Paradoxically, to progress faster, you have to play slower, and not just a little slower, a lot slower. And if you're working on how to start improvising, I'm sharing the full 7-step method in this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.